We all know Putrada Ekadashi is for those seeking a child, but why did a powerful king with a perfect kingdom want to end his life over it? Today on Spashtham, we dive into the psychology of King Suketuman and the five hidden lessons this ancient story has for our modern day anxieties. According to Bhavishya Puran, once upon a time, a kingdom named Bhadravati was ruled by King Suketuman and his queen. Despite having all the world's luxury, the king was in great anxiety over having no successor to his kingdom. The king was always distressed that after me, who shall nurture this kingdom? What shall I do? How will I get a pious child? In his worry, he even left his palace and started avoiding court meetings. Once during Pitra Paksh, when the royal couple was offering the Pindadan to their ancestors, only one thought seemed to plague their minds. Today, we are doing this for our ancestors, but who will do it for us? Will we remain a wandering souls? Will we not get liberation? The entire kingdom seemed to give them no solace, and both seemed to get increasingly morose as days went by. Despite an abundance of elephants, horses, and a huge infantry, it was not providing him contentment and tranquility. They were always engaged in the child's resentlessness. The king used to ponder, what is the benefit of this great kingdom without any son? Without a son, my kingdom and my heart is appearing as a hollow filled with darkness. Without a son, how would I pay off the debt of my forefathers, of the demigods and the other humans? He always used to think, if my son would exist, then it would be a proof that I have done pious works in my past 100 lives and I have sufficiently worshipped the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Great wealth, intelligence, and sons can only be achieved if one worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. If I don't beget a son, my life would become worthless and hollow. In this worry, he used to spend his days and nights. The king and the queen felt more guilty when they heard that their forefathers were worried that there would be no one to offer tarpan to them. Suffering in this manner, the king thought of committing suicide, reasoning that if he had no son, what is the meaning of his life? But then he realized, if I commit suicide, then I will have to face the punishments in hell. So, leaving this thought aside, he went into the forest riding on his horse. No one knew where he had gone. As he was wandering in the forest, he noticed how the trees were magnificently decorated with fruits and flowers. There he saw a cow elephant with her calf. Watching this, his sufferings increased multiple folds. Further, he started wandering in 10 directions in a state of deep sorrow. Soon it was noon. The king had started feeling hunger and thirst. His stomach rumbled hungrily, and he thought to himself, what sins must have I done, for which I am getting punishment in this manner, and for that I have to suffer so much. He thought, as far as I remember, I have done countless yagya for the demigods. I have given so much of gifts and sweets to qualified Brahmins. I have taken care of my subjects as my own child. Then why do I have to suffer like this? What unknown sins have I committed? Thus, by his past pious deeds, he reached an alluring lake named Mansarovar. He saw that there were ducks, swans, and fishes wandering about in the lake. He noticed that near the coast of the lake there were many ashrams of great sages and munis who could fulfill the desire of anyone. They wished well for everyone. The king got off from his horse and noted that all the sages were chanting the holy name of Krishna. Humbly greeting them, the king glorified the sages with folded hands. Pleased with his request, the sages said, "We are pleased by your behavior. O king, tell us what is your desire. Tell us the reason that you came here. What is going on inside your mind?" The king, burning with curiosity, asked, "I want to know who you all are. What are you doing here?" Then sages replied, "We are Vishwadevas. We are here in this solitary place for a holy bath. The month of Magh, also called the month of Madhav, will be here in 5 days, and today is the most auspicious Putrada Ekadashi. One who desires a son should observe this Ekadashi very strictly." When the king heard this, he started to pray with folded hands. "I have an intense desire of getting a son. I tried many things and many ways of getting a son, but all have proved to be useless. If you are pleased with me, please bless me so that I can get a son." Hearing this, sages replied, "The name of this Ekadashi is Putrada, the giver of a son. Obey this Ekadashi strictly, then by the mercy of Krishna and by our blessings, a son will be born to you." As per their instructions, the king observed the Ekadashi strictly. The next day, on Dwadashi, king paid his obeisance to all the sages and went towards his palace. After some time, the king begot a majestic son. Just like the sages had predicted, he was beautiful, bright faced, and as talented as the king. There are many hidden lessons that we can take from this tale. First, the paradox of perfect life. Someone may have everything in the world, but there is always a but or a question mark remaining in his life. Like the king had everything: wealth, a loving wife, and the respect of his subjects, yet he was miserable, meaning material success does not equate to mental peace. Second, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. When the king thought of ending his life, he soon realized that suicide is a grave sin that solves nothing and only adds to the karmic death. One should always remember, even at the peak of despair, there is a path forward. When the king chose Vairagya, that is detachment over destruction, it led him to the sages. It teaches the power of perseverance and shifting your environment when your mind becomes a prison. Fourth, the symbolism of Putra. Beyond biology, the word Putra is traditionally defined as Pu, a specific hell, Tra, to deliver. A son was someone who delivered parents from spiritual stagnation. In a modern context, a Putra can represent your legacy or your creative contribution. We all have a deep seated need to leave something behind that overlives us. The hunger for a son is a metaphor for the soul's desire for continuity and purpose. Fourth, the power of satsang, that is, the right company. The king didn't find the solution in his palace, he found it at the ashram of the sages. When you are stuck in a loop of worry, your own logic won't save you. You need the vibrational shift that comes from seeking wisdom from those who have already found peace. The sages didn't just give him a magic pill. They gave him a discipline, that is, the Vrat. Fifth, Karm and the thirsty cow. In some versions of the legend, the king's childlessness was linked to his past life, where he drove away a thirsty cow from a pond to drink water himself. That is, selfishness in moments of others' need creates future droughts in our own lives. The story reminds us that small acts of unkindness can block our greatest desires. The fast Ekadashi acts as a karmic cleanser to unblock those channels through self restraint and empathy. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.